Hello, voidlings. Sorry I didn't stream this morning. My stomach wasn't doing too hot. So, yeah. I was like, probably a good idea for me not to. So, that's what I decided to do. I decided not to let my stomach settle. It has settled now. But we're now into, afternoon hours. So, I'm going to go and be working on... Well, I've already done a bit of my dailies. That was at least positive of my stomach being upset. I went and did my daily stuff. Still can't get the hungry fungus for my Neopet. Really want to get that. I'll debate if I have the leftovers tonight. Well, we'll see. I don't know if it's sinuses or if I'm just, nervous as all hell and it's just being like, yay! Time to make you feel sick. This is why I hate my anxiety. I move past it, I move through it, but good gosh, it does wreak havoc on my body. So, we're just going to go and... Let's see, I've got still a couple tile sets to go and run through. We'll do that. I'm working on a diorama I bought from work, so I'm also going to be doing that. So I will be having to get up every so often, so hopefully that's not too much of an issue. I'm also currently going through... I bought several new icon packs because I was kind of interested. One of the itch creators, they had a whole bunch of these icon packs that was really cheap, like 70 cents for an icon pack. So I just went, that sounds like a deal. Let me go get that. So, currently just going through, sorting those. And then kind of also in a way working through the multiple RPGs. So, okay, that's interesting. I will be... Hey, Pokemon. Oh. Catch that. Ow. Anyway. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, being distracted because I have something I was trying to work on. Since there is a new RPG Maker form, and they do have a post spot for games in development, I figure I might as well post there. That was also where I was getting a little bit of help on like the mini map, because yeah, I genuinely did not have a well, it's more I just the mini map issue, like I said last night, if there was a plugin, I would be using it. There is no plugin. There is no plugin for me to use to fix the issue. I would love for there to be something that exists, but apparently there is not. So I have just gone the route of, okay, there is no plugin for that. So I'm just having to make something work, which is always fun. Huh. Did we never actually put those in? That's... okay. That's telling me I've never... That doesn't make sense. Right, because I noticed, did I even have these in this section? Because I could have sworn I would have at least put them in, but apparently I didn't, which I feel like is incorrect. Okay. Right. There we go. Alright.
I'm thinking about the diorama from work is a couple of these things like, it's not, it's the company's version diorama. Which I feel like would be fine if it was actually done well enough. Because I'm sitting here trying to like punch out some of these pieces of wood, and no, these are like thicker than anything I've seen, and there's no tool, so it's more just like, how the fuck am I supposed to punch this out? And then also at the same time,
you have other stuff that's like, oh, that also kind of and I just realized there we go. Thank you, and that's trash. And yes, I've got more character sheets to do. Yippee. I don't remember if I even moved the thing. Then brain will slowly get back to working. Brain will slowly get back to working. I love that it's like slowly like scrolling down. Okay. There's that. I would like to actually put back in the images here. Hopefully I can still find them because they're screenshots and I have not even gotten that close. But yeah, there's like no way anyone's being able to see that. There we go. That's better. That's better. Alright. Back on to doing this stuff. Okay. Let's say the general store was basically the groceries. Okay. Cool. That one's done. Alright.
Well, like, I've only gotten like through the first step of the little diorama because it's making a whole bunch of books. We have all the book ones. I'm currently working on the book twos. Then there's the book threes. Then the book fours. 5, 6, 1, 7, 1, 8, 1, 9, 1, 10, 1, 11. Couple bottles, 2 decorations, 3 frames, crystal ball, mortar, candlestick. Then making the shelf, cabinet. It's a lot of things all at once. So, trying to get that all done. While also just trying to clean up, as it were. Since August is the start of my birth month. Yippee.
And I know that does mean that there'll be some things rolling in for me as birthday present. I think I'm just going to leave it like this for now until I get to like drawing. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, and well, a lot of stuff, a lot of things I'm taking a look at, trying to figure out, do I need to keep this, or was I just keeping this because I thought it was useful, but it's actually not. So, going through that assortment of things. Hey! Welcome on in. Just vibing here. Trying to get some stuff done.
ほら、僕は誰よりも正しい。
Thank you for the bit. It's a warm afternoon again in Texas, so it's just trying to chill, set up a couple things for later. And that's why I got the water with me. Okay. Let's see. I still have not gotten around to resetting that up since I switched over to the 1.5 model. So I'm hoping to probably do that when I get it to 2.0. Thank you. Okay, so I've already done those. Okay, that's fine. It's like trying to slowly remember what I've been doing. Whew. Okay, up again. I am traveling around the room. Maybe someday I'll eventually get a better camera than the cheap $20 one, but hey, it works. It works. Yeah, I'm good. Just, I have a diorama set up, or that I'm trying to build, that's not directly in front of me. And then trying to put away things. So, it's a bit of getting up and down. Probably won't be doing as much getting up once I get to the character sheets, but I've got to get some more things put away before I can move on to that more important things. So it's like, many things to do. Like, I'm thankful that I took off 5 days from work, but like, oh, I have days off, but it is certainly being just like, ah, yes, I've got to do this. Ooh. Who knows if it's still not that warm and not late enough, I might just start working on the mini map again for Crystal Genesis. Oh, I didn't actually even show it. Hold on. Because I gotta show. This was what I made last night. Because I already showed off the map, but I found an icon and I figured this would be perfect, so I made the icon that I found into a icon for the phone menu in game. So hopefully this will help, because it's like, oh yes, map. That is exactly what you are looking for, and that is a perfect icon. I was just happy to have found that. I went, exactly what I need. That's what I was looking for. Oh. Here we go. Okay. Oh, this is an interesting. How do I want to describe the main protagonist of Crystal Genesis? Ooh. That's tough. That is tough. I'm not sure. Let me see. That information. I don't need that description. I would definitely say that those are traits that I have kept apart. Anything else? No. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how Like if I should just write a bunch for informing the characters, or just leave it as who they are story-wise, as to the main protagonist's friend, the antagonist, that sort of thing. Because I'm like, I want to check, like, that one doesn't really use. I love that some of these aren't even like using the demo or the template that was listed. I think I will just leave it as I think I will just leave it like with the small little blurb as to who they are in terms in relation to like story plot. Like I said, protagonist, antagonist. Because I cannot see anywhere else that I would really put that information. And there went the ad break. Okay. Again.
Try to make routines for myself.
That's why it may seem so weird. It's just routine. I like to follow routine. Ba-ba. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Eventually I'll get some more little tickets there. I want to get the other colors. Hold on one moment. Dang, damn colors! Ugh. This is going to be our final time reaching out to you. You already called me earlier today. Thank you. Thank you for the head pats. I'm kind of happy that I never, like, answer with my voice. So. Hopefully, eventually thinking that they just think that it's, like, it's a deactivated number or something. I don't know. I just never say anything when someone calls unless it's an actual person. Because I'm just like, in this age of AI, no. And considering people have actually tried to do this to, like, my family. I'm still going to call her my step grandma, even though she was not married to my grandpa. But yeah, they have actually tried calling her once and being like, oh, yes, we have, trying to do, like, the more serious threat as, like, oh, hey, we have them send us money. And it's like, at least I'm quite happy that she was like, okay, I'm going to try to go and call them. Because this is obviously not their number. And I still remember, because it's like, I was getting like, for some reason it wasn't picking up as her number, which was in my phone, and I was just like, I'm just gonna ignore that. And then I get like a call, or no, yeah, they tried to scam like my step-grandma. Like, saying that they had me and my mom held up. And of course, I didn't answer because for some reason her phone, when she tried to call me, was not coming through with her number, so obviously I did not answer. Because if it's someone that I know, I log it into my phone. Yeah. Oh gosh, it was bad last year. They tried one of those, oh, you need to go and pay this program. And my mom was like, what? No, she didn't have that program. What were they talking about? And because my bank account was still linked to hers, because I've had this bank account since I was like in 6th grade, the money that was pulled also came from my bank account. And I easily recognized that, this was a scam, thank goodness. I watch a lot of MKR/scams. So I was like, yo, this is a scam. And I remember them over the phone, like, trying to get my mom to deposit the money, and I'm like, no, fuck you, fuck yourselves. You are pieces of shit. I remember I was just cursing them out. I was like, I don't give a shit. Yeah, my mom asked me to. I'm like, super whenever there was like, I know there was like one that they left a voicemail, and it immediately almost had my heart jump into my chest, because I was like, wait, is that my phone number? And then I listened to it closer and I'm like, motherfucker, that's 9 digits. There is no phone in the US that uses 9 digits. Everybody's got a 10-digit phone number. So I was like, no, fuck you. I don't care what this is. Usually it seems to be always like, oh, debt, IRS, and it's like, if there was an actual issue, since my parents have worked, like, my dad is retired military. It's like, if it was something government, from the government, that'd be in the fucking mailbox. They would not be sending me a goddamn phone call. So it was just like, yes. So, those have been just one of those, I see. It's just bullshit. Most of the time, as long as I don't, like, speak directly into the phone, it doesn't register. Sometimes it's just like, oh yes, it's been after a specific amount of time. Now we will go and play our automated message. One good thing about having learned coding, that is, like, I can automatically clock what's going on through if and else statements. So I'm just like, as long as I don't speak, it doesn't usually register because that's all it takes is just speaking. And considering I've also, since I work retail, I do make phone calls out to customers. I always address, yo, I am working at this store, this location. This is my name. I. Because it's like, yeah, when the people aren't like addressing themselves and are just like, hey, is this the person answering the phone? It's like, who are you? Like, that's immediately me just being like, yeah, no. Identify yourself. Yeah. Like I said, I usually wait because if it is an actual person, they will usually speak first. If it is a robotic call, which is most of the ones that I get, they're expecting me to speak first, which I will not give them that satisfaction. So it's just like, not happening. And I mean, so far it's worked out for me. Like I said, unfortunately, it's mostly a robot, so I don't think anything, like, I will still, like, be breathing. So it's like, if it was a real person, they would probably hear, like, okay, there's breath, but it's a robot. It's not registering that because it's looking for vocal tones. Yeah. That's why it's like I don't speak. If it's an actual person trying to call me. I mean, that's why I answer the, like, it still ring up as potential spam, but I still answer it because, like I said, my step-grandma, she tried calling me, and that's what her number came up as. So, I don't want to, like, dismiss them always. Obviously, when I'm, like, clocked in at work, nobody's calling me or getting through to me except my parents. If it is something important, they will call me. Otherwise, no. I am not taking a phone call while at work. But, yeah, that's usually just how I go. Hey! Event Cubone. There we go. Let's see. Trying to figure out how I want to describe this character, because I'm like, he's part of the reason. I don't want to just put him as like love interest, because the main character doesn't really fall in love with him. It's more like he's interested in her. Is there like a terminology? got it. Eh. Trying to figure out if there's like a writing trope for this. Like, is there a writing? I mean, I don't really. Maybe rejected suitor? Because it kind of sounds. But it's almost like. Maybe one-sided crush. I feel like one-sided crush would make more sense because they don't have that much interaction. I don't think unrequited love. I feel like one-sided crush probably. It's not like obsessive, but it is definitely. That in context, so it doesn't come off weird. I'll have to refill the water here in a bit. I've been here and there. It's been a rough summer for me. And I'm being very truthful with it. That is. I have had the unfortunate loss of the cat and the dog. They have unfortunately moved across the Rainbow Bridge. So it's been a rough summer here. Yeah. Which kind of sucks because back at the starting of the month, I was like hitting my 5-year streaming. Yeah. I miss them. I miss my fluffy orange child. Him and him barely having a brain cell. Dog was sweet too. She was a sweetie pie. I'm only hoping that they're just hanging out together with the others. It's not like it's the first pet loss I've ever had. Probably won't be the last, but it definitely significantly hurt more this year. It definitely did. Yeah. That's why I'm trying to do stuff. It's actually where the diorama kit came from. We had just gotten those into work. And I need something to keep my mind off of stuff. So, I went and bought it. And I got all of that. Like I said, I've only gotten through, I think, the first step of the diorama. Let's see. Well, we finished step 1. How many steps are there? Oh, you were going to tell me the number of steps. Okay. Well, this is part 1 on page 7, and it ends on page 24. Let's do it like that. I still have like quite a lot of pages to go through. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But that's why I am working on it. I also stream. Alright. Okay. I am hoping this is going to really depend on how I feel in the morning, because I was going to do this this morning, but I woke up and my stomach said, nope, you're having nausea this morning. And I'm like, great. This is the same nausea that was last night. So I was like, okay. Which I don't know if that was just the fish. I don't know if it didn't like being reheated in the microwave. Or if it was something else that I will be trying to start Cult of the Lamb. I've got to pick up the last two yeah, it was fish dinner. It was kind of like a pastry casserole sort of thing. So while it was very good out of the oven, I'm not sure about like just popping it back in the oven to reheat it. I'm not sure if that would... I mean, it might work. You know what, I might as well just try it tonight. See if I can like heat the oven up and like maybe pop it in for a couple minutes or something. See if that works to reheat it. But yes, it did stay in the fridge. I do have a covering over it. I won't say like I was like throwing up, but definitely my stomach was like, we're queasy, we're queasy. It could also have just been, I ate like a lot of food with it. Like, this is portioned out for like, I think 8 people. It is a lot of food. Yeah. So it's like there's multitudes of things that I'm like, and could be that, I'm not sure. I could give it another go, see if it was that. I just figured, at least for lunch today, I went with something a little bit more bread, strictly bread. But yeah, I'm going to try to play Cult of the Lamb, but I'm still requiring to get 2 more DLC. If I'm remembering correctly, the Pilgrim's Pack and Woolhaven. So, yeah, I had Hush Puppies. That is just cornbread, basically. And before that, I had... Ooh, there's an Omnistar in chat. Before that, I just ate some crackers for breakfast. So, it is... I've definitely eaten enough. I have sparkling ice, which is like a flavored sparkling water. I'm probably going to avoid that as well, because it might also just be sinus drainage. Because sinus drainage does do that, and I do feel my nose be a little stuffy. So it could just be a mixing of, you're a little bit anxious, and you got a bit of sinus, so it's just going to make this lovely nausea cocktail that you're just going to deal with. So I think it might just be that. We'll see. I will take an allergy medication before bed tonight. See if that helps. It's like there's many things that it's like, okay, could be that, could be that. Don't know. We'll find out. Hey! Yay! You got the Omnistar! Yay! Yeah. Alright. And just before the ad break. Okay, let's see. Okay, I am pretty sure that's all I need there. Okay. Begin.
I'm at least going to be a little bit curious what I get for my birthday. I'm hoping that a couple of the items are actually the useful ones that I have on my list and not, oh yeah, that was the book I wanted. It wouldn't be too bad to have a couple of the books that I wanted. I need the space. I need the organization. That'd be so much easier.
Yeah, that's how I feel sometimes, but like I know I try to organize my thread for cross stitch. That's I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Like my pinned item on my throne is a dresser, which is supposed to replace the plastic dresser that I currently have. There's also a shelf because I mean, I'm currently happy that I'm able to walk around. I wasn't able to before, but that's also because I moved the mannequin dummy that I had with the dress that I'm still working on out of my room. So it's like, yeah, okay, I can walk around. That's because the mannequin's now on the landing. And it's like, that needs to go back into my room. Yeah. So I still live with my parents. And the room that I'm in yeah. The room that I'm in was considered the old gaming room. It kind of became my room because the room I originally picked out as a kid when we moved here, the closet legitimately is too small. Even as a kid, that would not fit all my clothes. And I looked at this room and went, well, we're not really using this as a gaming room, and I'm in here most of the time. Let me just move my bed in here, and this become my room. Went over it with my parents. They were like, okay, that's fine. You do need the space for your clothes. And that's how I got to be in a decently sized room. It's because I've got 2 shelves with 2 drawers. I've got a cabinet next to me that's got my printer on it. There is a... Hold on. Partially, yes. Partially, like I said, the closet just was too small. Like, my shoulders are wider than the closet. The tip from one end of my shoulder to the other is wider than the closet in that room. That was not a big enough closet to actually hold clothes. And funnily enough, that room has actually become what me and my mom have called the costume closet, because we do costuming stuff. And that whole room is just now become a giant closet, because the small closet is too small, really, for much of anything. So the whole room has racks in it now for the costume clothes that me and my parents go and use. So I was gonna say, it's like I've got an end table that yeah, I have an end table that I bought. There is this pile of plushies off past my left-hand side, because this one specific corner of the room, I just went and looked at it and went, I genuinely don't know what to put here, because I can't really get in there that well, so it's just become the plushie pit. So all my plushies just get thrown there. So it kind of also acts as a little bit of soundproofing. Kinda. We did historical stuff first, though my mom was into Star Trek. My dad was into the Western movies, so it just kind of worked out. And I kind of just always liked Halloween and dressing up, so it was just like, yeah. So it didn't really take much to drag them in. I do remember watching Star Trek and Stargate. I have never watched any of the Star Wars movies, and from the reaction of fans, I've just gone, I don't think I want to touch these. They may be good, they may be, culturally important, but nope. I ain't touching them. So I was gonna say, it's like, I have another cabinet and a 4 cube cubby. Like I said, I think the movies they seem okay. I have seen a couple pieces here and there. Like I said, I haven't really sat down and watched all of it. It's just kind of the fan base and stuff. I've just gone, okay, that there are definitely some, that there are some fans. Granted, I have been in some fandoms that have been crazy as well, but I'm just like, it's also one of those. I'm not huge into sci-fi. It's weird because like I said, Star Trek, Stargate, I grew up with. I know in middle school, high school, I was into the Doctor Who stuff. Still try to keep a pulse on the Doctor Who. I think it actually might be going into hiatus again, which I am just thankful. But I'm just like, I really like my fantasy more. I like the magic. I like dragons. In fact, one of the shelves on the shelves that I have is just dragons. It's just all my dragon figures, which kind of has it's spilling out now. There's too many. I picked up another one the other day that was like a dragon on top of a skull. And I have a skeleton dragon holding a tinier skeleton dragon. I have another one. I'm pretty sure there's another one with a skull as well. There's a lot of them. And then I forgot the other two shelves. And the TV. There is a TV in the room as well. I have not played on my Switch in a while. I do eventually need to turn that back on. But yeah, this room's pretty decently sized. It's good. It's just getting the right furniture in for what I have. I tried to make use of the wall space. I have a couple of those little floating shelves that you can put anywhere. I was just like, there is so many of them. I know there's like, I even have like one of those 3D printed ones that can be moved around and stuff. That's also up there. I still see my Miku figures. And my crow that was for my Maleficent outfits, he's sitting up there on the shelf. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So yes, there's a lot of now let me take a look and see if do I still require this, or am I just hoarding this? Hey, there's a Delibird. Yeah, there's a lot. Like, even just in front of me, I've got a corkboard, which is mainly used for my gaming, or not my gaming, my game making stuff. So it's got like notes like, oh, here's the different types of enemies I want to go and have. So I have them split up into these different categories, into different biomes, the different elements I want to use. I have another one that's, oh, this is where the audio percentages should be at for everything. So when I'm putting sound effects in or background sounds, that's the audio level that I want. I have notes on what I need to do. I have a list of all the different things that need to be finished in the game, and if I finish them, that's on a little checklist that I have. And then I have the current sprite that I'm working on. It's put up on the board so I can see it and go, ah, yes, that's the design I made for this background character or this main character, so that I can then just start working on the sprite and be like, okay, this is how this dress looks, this is probably how it should look in the back, this is how it should look from the side. So I have that there. I've got a couple of my keychains. Oh, I have like way too much. I have to really stay organized because I have what amounts to 13 story ideas. I am only working on 3 of them currently. As to what game I'm working on, and I only stay on the game for 4 months, because if I try to stay on it and like keep working on it, I will burn out. My brain will just start saying, no, do something else. This is getting boring. This is getting repetitive. So I have to switch out for another one. So I try to make progress. And this month has mainly been make a freaking mini map. Because Aki the sweetheart, she played my game and was having difficulty moving around the map, and I was like, okay, I need a mini map. I need some way to inform the player of where they're going. So I have been in the process of trying to figure out mini map location and how to do that. I was originally hoping I'd just be able to plug something into the engine. There is none that works for what I'm doing, so I'm just going to be making a whole bunch of events. Yes, RPG Maker. Hold on. Ba-ba-ba. There we go. Use the correct terminology. Not town, city. City. It is city. I don't know why I keep wanting to go and refer to the place as a town, and it's like, it's not a town, brain. I specifically made it a city. It's a city. Well, I mean, it's never too late to start working on the idea. Because I definitely say this idea is... It's coming up on being 20 years old. Oh, well, I mean, you can start with, like, what sort of genre do you want it to be? What sort of mechanics are you interested in wanting to use? Do you want it to be, like, a simulation game? Do you want it to go and be more fighting, stealth? Those sorts of things are easy places to start. Because trust me, like the one I'm working on, Crystal Genesis, this did not start out as a game. It started out as just a story that my brain had when I was like in middle school. It has been with me a while. It's gone through some reworking to make it fit the medium. And the characters they're a little bit, you know, I feel like a little bit of them fall into stereotypes, but I'm also like, it came out of my middle school brain. It's probably going to be. Ooh. I would probably then look at, like, MZ. Because I think Visistella has something like that. Let me check their stuff. Because I should have a couple of their things. They post so much. Here we are. Because Visistella makes a lot of plugins, and while some of that stuff is not original to the making of stuff, let's see, I was going to say, there should be, those are the battle systems. I know I could have sworn. Ah! So we have furniture system plugin. I feel like that's... Let's see. Ever wanted to let your players decorate certain maps with furniture items? Is that what you're meaning with house building? I also feel like there's another one for, like, dungeon stuff. Yeah, random dungeon maps. That's another one of theirs. Ow. But they have those. I feel like then that would work. Yeah, because here we go. Let me bring it. Window capture. Okay. Yeah. Switch this to the right size. Yeah. But yeah. So it says players can select special furniture items directly from the item menu. So that would be items that you would be creating to decorate. And then we have generates randomized dungeon map layouts in game using cell maps to stitch together. Make some random dungeon cells unique so that only one of those cells can appear per floor. Good. Yeah, I think MZ, if you're wanting to look at like an RPG maker, MZ would be what you would be looking for. And these Visicella ones would probably be the correct tool to use. Because it does look like that. I don't remember if there's any that would work for MV, which is the engine one before MZ. That's the one that I'm currently working with. So I'm working with the older engine, and kind of MZ is now actually the older engine since they decided to make another engine, and I'm not sure how well that one's going to do, because it's like that 2.5D. So it's like, it's 3D and 2D at the same time. It looks really wonky to me. I don't particularly like that style. I think the game that I would say visually kind of looks like that is Octopath Traveler, and sort of that same style vein. Yes, I felt like it's definitely. Now, granted, I know there's plugins to go and make MV and MZ 2.5, so it's not like it's a deal breaker sort of thing. If you go back to the previous engines, it's just like, this is kind of interesting that you're starting out the engine that way, instead of letting us just make a plugin. Because I prefer if there was just like a free plugin to make it that way, so people have the choice if they want it to just be 2D or 2.5. But they just automatically went, yeah, no, it's just going to be in 2.5. And it's like, give us the choice. Give us the choice on whether we want to put the engine in that state or not. Again, they haven't been doing the best work as of recently. Because they decided to shut down the original 14-year-old forms to make a new set. And it's not even like they're just locking the entire form. They are like closing down the entire website. And a lot of people aren't happy, myself included, because that's where people went to get information on what was going on with the engine. So, kinda sucks now. There is though then RM Planet. It's a unofficial forms, but I will take that over that's oh gosh, that's the hold on. I believe there is a plugin for that. It does not come automatically. It looks like there's a couple. Now there's another one on Itch. Now granted, doing the action combat like that, it does take a lot more work, so a lot of those plugins tend to be a lot more expensive. Because I'm looking at the price of this one and it's $40. And I know the engine ain't cheap. But, let's see. I was gonna say, when was it released? It would have had a release. Okay, so this was released back in December of 2024. And it literally just got an update today. So, the plugins, that one is being actively updated. Yeah, I was gonna say it's like the phone menu that I have for my game, because I went and got that. That was about $30 because that changed the entire setup of the menu as to accessing like your equipment, your skills, everything like that. Set it up to be a phone, and that does require a lot more work from a coder, so it does tend to equal out to be a more expensive plugin than let me look, because I'll bring up like one of the other ones that I bought. It should be in my library. This last time. So now I got it. Where are you? So I use Yanfly. Yanfly was the plugin maker for MV, and just for the quest and gameplay pack. So this is about like 22 plugins. $10. That's mainly because Yanfly had released them all free. I had to put them behind a paywall because someone was taking them and selling them. So it really depends. You can probably maybe find one that's a bit cheaper than the $40. There could also be, that could actually be the cheaper option. There could be ones that are more expensive. I don't look at a lot of the MZ ones. The only reason I'm getting like a couple of them is because they were originally making MV and now they're making MC. So I'm like, I'm in between. So I'm just like, yeah, that's... A couple of them actually make dual plugins. Like, where was it? I know yeah. That's why I was happy I was able to... I knew a bit of coding. I had that issue as to there was a... I wanted randomization in the shop inventory. And the item, I wanted it to appear like 13% of the time in the shop. There were plugins that would allow it to show up if you turn on a switch, but that wasn't what I was looking for. So I went and was like, okay, cool. Let me check this plugin out. Open it up, look at it, went, okay, this is how this code's being called, this is the important things that need to be called. Because this was basically my first time actually making a plugin. So I was looking at others' work and going, okay, this is what's going on, these are what we're working with, this is what needs to happen in order to work with this program. I had worked with other programs before. I had never made a plugin myself. Went about looking at it and went, okay. And figured out a way to make it do what I want. And now I have that for my system. So I plug in something and it's going to be in the shop 14% of the time. Well, now it does. So it worked, and that was what I needed. I was just basically going like, yep, that's how that worked. I know there's like another one that I was going to do because it was durability. Because again, the durability plugins that I ran into, it didn't quite work for what I was wanting the durability. Hold on, let me bring it up. Because I want to make sure I'm saying the right script. JavaScript. All the plugins are JavaScript, so it is in the JavaScript language. Which, I mean, did not bother me. I had to learn JavaScript and C+ in college, so it's like, oh yeah, that's the easier of the two. I will definitely take that. said, it was at least the easier of the two languages. I've dealt with C+, and I kind of want to felt like tearing my hair out with C+. I mean, my mom's worked with like older. I'm trying to remember like some of the Cobalts. I think my mom's worked with like Cobalt. That's an old. So it's like I talked to her about JavaScript, and it's like, what? So, eh. I don't find JavaScript too bad. I think it's just I'm more... When I see C+, I'm more likely to have my eyes glaze over, but that's just because I had 2 courses? Yeah. I mean, I don't know if mine were any better. They just told me to, look up the JavaScript stuff. But I think it was also because they weren't like teaching the basics. They were just like, okay, you're going to be working immediately with building something that's going to be showing on the screen. You just gotta look up things, you got to Google. So it was just sort of like, oh, okay. Cool, I guess. Oh. Oh gosh. I would hope that they haven't been using AI. That would make sense. I finished college in 2018. So I say that because it's like there has been this off commercial that has been showing in my area, and I'm just like, if you look up off bug spray unexpected encounter, you will get the commercial, and the bears are what is just like, I'm just sitting there looking at them going like, I can't. I'm pretty sure these are fucking AI. And it's really shitty AI. Obviously, when it was like on the computer screen when I was seeing it, I was like, eh? Because I was like trying to look at the bottom of the screen, seeing it's like, did they put a disclaimer? And when I saw it on the TV yesterday, I was like, I don't see a disclaimer. So I'm just sitting there going like, those bears, they don't look CG, but they don't look real. 'Cause there's like far too many of them for that to be an actual real shot. That's the thing, I don't know. It's just, hold on, let me see if I can find a screenshot of this thing. Okay. Back to window capturing. This is what lingers on, and I'm just sitting there going like, and the way they move is not, it does not look right. Yeah, that's why I was like, that's why I was like, oh gosh, really? Really, you are a bug spray commercial. Please, I would have preferred the bad CGI as to overseeing that. And like I said, I was like looking at the bottom, I was trying to see if there was like any sort of indicator being like, hey, this used AI. And they didn't. At least Coca-Cola had the decency to say that. It's off. Off is not a small company. It's not a small brand. Off is owned by SC Johnson. SC Johnson's huge. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm never going to fucking buy your bug spray ever again. I'm not even getting that much bug bites anymore, so it's like, why the fuck would I buy it now? When you're clearly using this bullshit. Because, guess what? I found a way to avoid getting bug bites. Lavender! Marigold! Just having those planted out in the yards has significantly decreased the amount of bug bites that I have gotten. And guess what? They're better because they're plants. So the bees in the area are getting to pollinate stuff. So it's like, I feel like it's a win-win. We have flowers that are nice. I absolutely hate AI. It is not anything that's like, I have actually joined a I still have Facebook obviously to talk to family. It can work well as a tool if it is being used right. Obviously, I'm not going to enjoy if someone uses it for all the research, but if it's able to pull websites and give you directions correctly, yeah, okay, that's okay. But yeah, it is just a tool. It is being used so bad right now that it's like, please, we need some freaking regulation on this. Please, it is. Ugh. It is not being handled well. Oh, this is kind of actually going back to, the other day there was actually a video that was posted, and I looked at it and I went, wow, I fucking hate this. It was, because when I saw it, I was like, seriously, what the fuck is going on with this? And whew, it definitely took me a bit to calm down from it, but the person was basically saying, it's like, oh, but AI is this great thing because artists are so expensive and they ghost you. And I literally was like, my guy, what are you talking about? The people are wanting to be paid what they are. Yes, I've seen, or I guess I've heard them using that for like some of the the tedious tasks, like oh gosh, like say you are drawing a mermaid or needing to animate a mermaid and you need to put the scales on the tail. It would be great to have a tool that would be able to easily, you point out to the area that it needs to do that. However, I feel like for fully animating it, probably not the case, but putting scales on something or cell shading, or not specifically cell shading, the comic book sort of shading stuff, that I can see as, okay, that's very tedious to do by hand, having a machine speed up that process, because that is just a repetitive task. And if it's able to do that quicker, yes. But yeah, no, this person was being like, saying that the AI was better than getting artists, and they only had like 5 videos on their channel. 2 of them had the little music icon, so they were supposed to be music. And when I went to see this channel, it was only 8 days old. So I was just like, ah, I see. So you went to the AI to get music done, because you could not be bothered to actually deal with an actual human to make music to post on your channel. Music takes the time. It's like, I can slightly see it being used for that. I still tend to want to draw out my stuff, but I feel like that's like less egregious than just using it completely. But yeah, I'm like, I mean, I kid you not, I have had a piece of art that it's like I wanted to get done, and I was like, I don't know how to draw the bodies, but I had drawn stick figures. So I was like, here, this is what I want them doing. Because I was like, I'm not going to try to draw the bodies, but I will at least draw the stick figures. Because I at least know a little bit of anatomy, so they kind of work out. But I was just like, eh. Like I said, it's one of those things. It's, if it is the fully end product, like, I know there are definitely people who are using it as the end product. I genuinely do not care for it, because I can see some use of it within, like, coming up with the ideas, but it is, like I said, personally for me, I still want to try to learn. I kid you not, I was seeing a post of someone calling out someone on Facebook as to, they were AI generating images of cross stitch, and not of like a pattern to make, but of like a final product. And I was like, oh my lord, just go and stitch it yourself. What are you doing? That is the whole point. It is a physical item. And I will tell you, from the couple of cross-stitch projects that I have done, it feels so rewarding to have finished it. It's just like, yay! This piece is mine! It's got the small little flaws, because every cross-stitch piece will have its own little flaws. But it is such a nice reward to have a object that you made, that you stitched together with your own hands. And yeah, it may be flawed a little bit, but it's yours. And yeah, just to have seen that, it's like, oh, there are people AI generating those. I'm like, please do something more productive. Anything. Ever since 2020, I've gotten slowly more into stitching and sewing. I've got a nice little place in my Discord server for all my little cross stitch stuff. But yeah. Yeah. But that's what I like. At least still being able to make some of these things. Like, I have a Kurumi book nook. It's very cute. I did mess up on some part of it. Ooh. But it's kind of my own. I know, like, my Maleficent staff that I made, it's got its own little flaws, but it's my own. It works. I'm still happy I got it actually to glow. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to have that effect. I never really did anything like that. So I don't think I could fully sew a dress by hand. Like, at points I go and say that I want to, because I look at, like, the curves that some of the dresses need you to sew in, and I'm like, I don't want to do that, but then I go, oh, but I definitely don't really want to deal with sewing this huge line by hand. Now, granted, that is like the final thing that I've been doing is the seam binding, adding that to the dress. And then I've got to add the zipper. Oh, hold on. Huh. Think. I'll move this over. Hey! I think though, I'm probably gonna call it here. I will be back in a couple hours to work on the game. So, we actually do our Discord socials and raid messages for followers and subscribers. And let me see who we can raid out to for now. You know what? I have not been in their stream for a bit, but it's always enjoyable over there. Have a wonderful day, Voidlings, and I will see you again in a little bit. Bye-bye!